What's up, friends? How is everybody? We should be rocking and rolling. I'm hoping the stream is going well. This is a first in a long time. I haven't been active on YouTube, but I think we're going to fire it up again. Okay. Seems like we got one viewer. That's cool. Let's get it going. So why don't we start with CoinGecko. Saturday night, spending our free time looking at cryptocurrency prices. Nothing much better than that. Binance chain is just going through the freaking roof here. 107% gain in 7 days. And yesterday it was up to 350, which is even higher. Absolutely ridiculous. I have a hard time believing that it's legitimate. But I will give credit where credit is due. Anyone that is holding Binance and has been holding Binance is absolutely crushing it. If you've been holding BNB, you're probably rich because it was $68 as of the 7th of February. And 180 days ago, it was down in the 30s. So you made, I don't know, a cool 1,000% gain. In 1 year, 1,100% gain. Good for you, pal. There's definite questions as far as if it is legitimate. Chainlink God on Twitter, you should follow him if you're a Chainlink fanatic. He pointed out that one contract seemed to be dysfunctional. Something was wrong with it, and that one contract alone resulted in 680,000 failed transactions spammed to that one contract in 17 hours. Some people claiming that it's just front running, it's just bots doing their thing, but I have a very hard time believing that 680,000 transactions in 17 hours. To me, it seems like wash trading. Basically, somebody is on the Binance chain just falsifying these transactions or just running through hundreds of thousands of transactions to fake like there's traffic there. It could happen. It could be the case. I feel like that's the case. I know CZ is I wouldn't trust him, that's for sure. And he controls all of the validators, so it doesn't cost him anything to do any transactions. It's not like Ethereum where it's totally decentralized. Binance is currently a centralized chain, and given that it's centralized, you can just crush transactions because there's no fees. You don't have to send it to thousands of nodes. You have to send it to 5 or 6, and then the fees are minuscule. However, the reason they're minuscule is because you're giving up all that security. You're giving up the decentralized aspect. So as we all know, Binance has been wash trading the centralized, decentralized financial applications that have been ported to the Binance chain to fake user activity. This is taking deception to a whole new level. If your funds are on Binance Smart Chain, be aware you're giving away custody to a bad actor who will do anything to get ahead. This is exactly what I'm talking about right here. CZ is using the obviously manipulated and inflated metric regarding the number of transactions on the Binance Smart Chain to take shots at Ethereum. So this is something that you definitely should be aware of. You should absolutely be aware of, because we don't know if Ethereum is going to be the winner. We assume it's going to be the winner. A lot of people don't assume that, actually. I got a buddy who's big time onto Cardano. I don't agree with him, but Cardano is another one that has done exceptionally well, and you got to give credit where credit is due. It seems to me like Ethereum is the best, most logical option to win out the smart contract wars, because they have all the developers. Everyone's already on Ethereum, but you do have to realize that right now, just to send a token, send a single freaking token, not to do anything computationally heavy, it costs $50 to $60, and that's just not going to work. 90% of the world has been priced out of using Ethereum, and that's a major problem. Now, none of the other chains are any better. That's the thing. People are moving to Polkadot. They're moving to Binance Chain. They're moving to Cardano, and that's okay. But you got to realize that they all three of them and every other chain has their own downfalls. As we discussed, Binance Coin, you can move to the Binance Smart Chain if you want to make transactions for pennies on the dollar. Sure, but you're giving up all the decentralized benefits. So that guy could steal your money. That being said, I don't really blame somebody that only has $60 to $70 to invest. If you want to move to the Binance Smart Chain because you want to farm yield, I don't blame you at all. You can't do anything on Ethereum. So you might as well just take your chances and try to do something on Binance Smart Chain. Now, that being said, I hope that in the long run, Ethereum can figure out their issues and get these fees down, as we know they're trying to do with Layer 2 options. But those options have yet to play out, and it's been a long time. The 2018 bubble popped well over 2 years ago, and they have clearly made progress, but they haven't solved the issue. Polkadot, I don't really know too much about Polkadot or how it works, but I know that it's performed exceptionally well. 40% gains over the past 7 days. It's another one. You got to give credit where credit's due. If anyone is going to beat out Ethereum, I'm assuming that Polkadot is up there with the best of them. It's got really high-powered pockets backing it. Performance has been through the roof. I remember this was under $5 and I didn't buy it, and it was ranked in the 30s or 40s. And of course, with hindsight, that looks like a horrible option, but that is what it is. Polkadot or Cardano, if I had to guess who's going to beat Ethereum, it would probably be one of these two. I don't see Binance Smart Chain being a long-term option. I think it's a good option now, though, for people that like I said, are priced out of using Ethereum. Let me tweet this out real quick. Live streaming now. Talking. I can't even see with these sunglasses on. Why am I wearing sunglasses in the basement? Chainlink and Binance Smart Chain. There you go. Tweet Binance Smart Chain, probably get some traction. A lot of Asian folk seem to like Binance Smart Chain, and it would be wrong of me to not try to promote my own live stream. So, Cardano is another one. They have a lot of developments coming up. They tout very cheap transactions, but you got to realize it's only cheap because right now not many people are using it. If it remains cheap and traffic continues to climb and go up, then I will give them all the credit where credit is due. As of yet, that remains to be seen, but they've been around a long time, and they get it done, to be totally honest. They kind of get it done. Let's be real. It's still 2 years after the 2018 bubble has popped, and they don't have smart contracts. They don't have native tokens. If they do, these things just came out in the past 2 weeks. I mean, come on. Ethereum has had native tokens and native assets since at least 2017. I mean, that's pretty much what drove the 2018 bubble, was all these new ICOs happening. And Cardano still doesn't have that 2 years later. Chainlink, 3444. Something is funky with Chainlink. I'm not going to lie. I think that it is market makers, personally, just kind of screwing the token price, to be totally honest. They're just playing games with it. Let me send this out to the Discord as well. Get these guys in. We need more viewers. What fun is this without viewers? These guys will follow. Chainlink unofficial. These dudes are legitimate. Live streaming now if anyone's bored. The Chainlink price continues to make all-time highs. I'm not complaining, but I'm kind of complaining. Okay, all-time high right here, 31.82 Friday. I don't know, what's that, 11 p.m.? 31.82 down to 29.50. Another all-time high, 34.86 on Valentine's Day. Wow, all the way down to $30. That's a big drop. 34.86 to $30. That's $4 from $34, over 10%. Not going to sit here and do some math right now. If I had to guess, 12 to 13% drop. That's 12 to 13% drop in a bull market. Now, I hate bitching about it, but it gets tiresome. This shit is freaking like clockwork. Another one, 34.51, the 15th of February. 17th of February, $30. That's a $5 drop, basically. $4.44 drop. Another one, 33.43 down to 32. And finally today, 36.83. Great. It's all-time high. I love it. I'm not going to complain about it. And then it drops to 34.23. And this is just, I don't know what these candles are. I'm just looking at CoinGecko. I'm not on TradingView or anything. But it went much lower. It definitely went lower than that. Low 34. I could find other numbers, but I'm telling you, these are huge drops, all right? And the price action, to be totally honest, is not concurrent with the rest of the market. Nothing else seems to be dropping like this. I truly believe that there are market makers out there messing around with the Chainlink. Yes, Roosh, it's me. I truly believe that there are market makers or somebody out there that is trying to shake out weak hands. Now, listen, I don't want to complain. We're doing very well. We're absolutely doing very well. Chainlink is making all-time highs every couple of days. But let's go look at Cardano. 90 days. I mean, absolutely through the roof. From 16 cents to 97 cents to $1.16. And you don't see, at least it doesn't look like it on the chart. You don't see the consistent pump and drop, pump and drop. It really feels like somebody's trying to shake out the weak hands and just kind of lull these people to sleep. They want to slowly bring the price up and then drop it again, just to kind of crush your morale. And then eventually, I hope, I believe that there's going to be a massive pump. And it's going to be let loose and go through the roof. But you never know if that's going to happen. Maybe Chainlink just has nothing left to offer. And they're not going to move on their own terms. They're just going to be drug along with the rest of the market. I don't believe that. I think off-chain reporting is coming. Chainlink's going to go through the roof. It just hasn't really had its day. It's struggling to stay in the top 10. It's performed well, but has clearly been outperformed. I mean, Uniswap, god damn, up 50% in the past 24 hours. When is Chainlink going to have that day? A 50% day. It hasn't had that in a long time. That's impressive, man. Uniswap, I don't know. I don't love it. When you compare the competitors, 1inch, Bancor, SushiSwap, like Uniswap definitely is top dog right now, but there's really nothing that's keeping it there. It hasn't made any crazy innovations. It just has all of the traffic right now, but that traffic is sticky and it might stay that way. I'm a huge fan of Bancor. I think they've gotten a lot of attention recently. I've recently bought a lot of it relatively to the rest of my portfolio. I've put a lot of money in the Bancor in comparison to the rest of my positions. But you can't deny it. You got to give credit where credit's due. Uniswap is crushing it. They're the biggest DApp. I know they were the biggest DApp. I'm assuming they still are. Sexy voice. Oh, my God. EOS slowly fading off into irrelevancy, as it should be. Monero. I think Monero gets kind of a bad rap for... I think people are scared of regulation, basically. I think Monero probably should be higher when you consider... I don't know, actually. I mean, it's getting to the point now that the top 20 is filled with mostly legitimate projects. It used to be before that even the top 10, like 5 of the top 10 were just total dog shit coins. And now the top 20 still has a lot of legitimate projects. I mean, there's still some stuff that doesn't really belong here. XRP, with the securities lawsuit, major question marks. Litecoin, at this point, I don't understand why it's still relevant. It's clearly nothing more than a test net for Bitcoin, and there's really not much value in that, considering there are actual test nets that you could just run. Bitcoin Cash, I don't know. I don't see that going anywhere. Bitcoin itself doesn't have that many developers. How many developers could honestly be working on Bitcoin Cash? Unless literally they think that Bitcoin Cash, the current product, is the final product, which might be. I think they still have Roger Ver. I think he's still kind of the head guy on that show. Stellar Lumens, honestly, I haven't looked at in a long time. Again, they're one of these coins that all they talk about is how fast they are, which anyone can be fast if no one's using it. I don't want to put it down. For all I know, there's great things going on the Stellar blockchain. I haven't looked, but I'm not too inclined to go do a whole bunch of research. Dogecoin, wouldn't buy it. It's a meme coin. Wrapped Bitcoin, just goes to show you how powerful DeFi is. Aave, again, DeFi. Cosmos, I should look into Cosmos more than I have. I've heard decent things about it. I should do more research into it. I don't know too much. NEM, as far as I know, is a ghost chain, and nothing happens on NEM. I don't understand how they're still top 20. But I'm not going to go through every coin here. Synthetics has slowed down a lot, actually. 23.55. It's still crushing it. It's still performed extremely well. But it wasn't that long ago, maybe 3-4 weeks, that it was actually ranked above Aave. And now its market cap is $3.4 billion, while Aave sits at $5.6 billion. Aave really took a step ahead, and I kind of expected that it would. But I didn't act on it, and I missed another one, as things seem to go. Let's go look at one of my favorite low-ranked coins, Bancor. Bancor has gotten a lot of attention lately, and I think it should be ranked a little bit higher, honestly. 91? Come on now. It's got the one-sided impermanent loss protection, which no other automated market maker can currently provide. And they got the new Vortex thing. This Vortex thing is kind of it's almost similar to Synthetics in a way. So when you stake on one side of the AMM pool, you earn Bancor tokens, or you could just buy the Bancor tokens yourself. And then when you stake them, you get a VBNT. I don't know what the V is. I'm assuming it's virtual. So virtual Bancor network token. You get that in return, and then you can use that to trade with. So you're kind of leveraging up on your assets that you have staked, in this case BNT. It's pretty interesting. It's an entirely new concept as far as I know. I don't know any other automated market maker that's currently offering that. But the chart to me looks like it's ready to rock. If you look at the 90-day, I mean, this is clearly a it's a triangle. I can't remember if that's descending or ascending, or it might just be a flat one. Either way, it's very clearly setting a little bit of a floor here and a little bit of a trend line going down that way. If I can, I should have this up on trading. Yeah, let's go do that. Trading view. Can I draw on here? Looks like I can. So we will go to one-day charts. Yeah, one-day chart kind of has it. Let's do 4 hours. So clearly, I can't even tell. Okay, now I'm wasting time. Now I'm wasting time. Now the 1 week obviously doesn't show it. Let's give it the 1 day. So I can't seem to really dial this in, but you can see that clearly a little bit of a triangle here, and depending which way it breaks out, I think it's going to break out to the upside. The amount of attention it's gotten recently is through the roof, and we're in a bull market. And look at this candle here. I don't know what that is, but it dropped down to 467 and immediately got bought back up. If that was a green candle, that would have been insanely bullish. But just the fact that it did get bought up like that is pretty solid. And next you got the green one, the green candle. That's you like to see that. We got some glass node breakdowns here. I do have some Bancor things up. So oddly enough, I thought this was odd at least, but maybe it's not too crazy. The liquidity for Bancor on Uniswap is going through the roof. Now, me personally, if I was going to use my Bancor token to provide liquidity, I would do it on Bancor. I mean, the APRs are through the roof. They have a liquidity mining program. All types of things. It seems to be growing at a very fast clip, and you know that you're going to keep the Bancor, and given its low rank and high social awareness right now, I would assume that the price probably is likely to go up. So why would you add liquidity on Uniswap? I don't really know, unless, I don't know, maybe it's Whales doing it, maybe it's the Bancor team themselves doing it. Either way, I thought that was interesting. We have total volume traded on Uniswap for the Bancor token is obviously through the roof. $2.8 million in one day. That's very high. So why don't we move back? Let's just start over with the Glassnode stuff. There's a lot to unpack here. By the way, it's a Budweiser kind of night. Oh, fuck you, X-Trends. Oh, my God. Okay. New addresses of Bitcoin are steadily going up and have been steadily going up for 2 years. I guess I can't say steadily. There was a period here, June 2019 until about June 2020, where things were relatively flatline. And then it is a very clear trend upwards. Now, the number of addresses with a non-zero balance has essentially continually gone up. I thought that was pretty interesting. Oh, this is since 2009. Come on, man. We don't need all that. We'll start in April. Let's do that. April 1st, 2017. You've got the price in gray and the number of non-zero balance addresses in yellow. So between March 2018, this is after the bubble pop, and February 2019, you can just call it March 2018 to March 2019, pretty much stable with consistent drops here. I find that interesting. That must have been another just kind of kick in the dick. Hey, you think the bull market's back. It's not. Fuck you. Here's a kick in the dick. But since then, consistently, the number of addresses holding non-zero amount of Bitcoin is continually through the roof. And as of recently, let's dial in this even more. We'll go April 20, January 2021. No, see, I don't want to do that. Okay. January 2020 to present day. If you ask me, I'm not going to sit here and draw any lines, but clearly from April 2nd, 2020 to, I don't know, let's call it October of last year. Consistent rise, yes, no doubt about it, positive price action. But since then, it's pretty much gone through the roof. I mean, straight parabolic. And there's no sign of slowing down at all for balances holding non-zero amount of Bitcoin. Now, if we go back, let's do that one all the way back to 2013, April 1st. To today. You can see this It also went vertical before the 2018 bubble, the amount of non-zero addresses holding Bitcoin. And that vertical trend started at the end of July 2017 and went all the way through mid-January 2018. So you're looking at a solid, what is that, six months of basically even more parabolic than it was. So you can see going up, and then fucking exploding. And we might be seeing the same thing here, slowly going up. We're clearly not, we might be starting the absolute vertical trend. And this absolute vertical trend lasted 6 months. We still could potentially be down here, slowly on the way up. What else we got? What else we got to talk about? Plenty. I can go all night. I might even go grab a beer. Ethereum number of new addresses. I don't know. Nothing too crazy to talk about here. Except that the bottom of this, the trend clearly started a year ago. January 29th, 2020, you can clearly see the amount of number of new addresses climbed. Now, that's not addresses holding a non-zero balance. That's just number of new addresses. I don't know, where do you distinguish between the two? There's got to be a reason that they measure new addresses as well as addresses holding a non-zero balance. I'm not exactly sure what the importance, why they distinguish between the two, but clearly there is a reason. And the charts don't even really look the same. So number of new addresses, clearly the trend starts in January 23rd, 2020. But this trend, number of addresses with a non-zero amount, has been consistent since early 2019. I mean, consistently going up. That's pretty incredible. When did the ICO? Okay, and then it really took off. That's incredible. And it's been so consistent and still going up. Chainlink number of new addresses climbing pretty fast, actually, but nothing out of the ordinary. It still hasn't surpassed the peak that we saw in August, but this is more sustained. So we've seen a longer rise and over a longer time frame. Percent in smart contracts, that's something you want to keep track of, because as the amount of Chainlink that gets sucked into smart contracts climbs, obviously the amount available for sell in decentralized and centralized exchanges goes down. I would assume that's what that means, unless supply in smart contracts also means supply in Uniswap. But either way, it's a good sign. You've got basically 50% for this whole time, from 2018, 50%, to January 18th, 2020. And then all of a sudden it starts climbing. And then July 30th, basically in the middle of the summer of DeFi, things explode. The amount of Chainlink that is currently stuck in smart contracts has gone from 51% to over 55% in the past, 7-8 months. And that's good. That just means there's less out there that is trying to be sold. Some of it might be for liquidity, yes, but it's still not sitting on an order book waiting to be sold, and it can't be. They got to pull it out of the smart contract and do all that stuff. Obviously a good thing. And we don't even have staking yet. We don't have all of these things. I mean, that's just going to help. That's probably going to send it through the roof, to be totally honest. Where are we at here? You know what? I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a beer. Give me 20 seconds. We're back. We're still looking at Glassnode. If anyone else, I don't know, how do I see comments? If anyone actually... Hey, here we go. Come Eater. Wow. What up, Come Eater? V for voting. Okay. Okay, Brandon Williams. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brandon. That makes sense. Come Eater. You're the man. As we're talking about new addresses, my dad asked me to help him get set up to buy some Bitcoin yesterday after I've been talking about it for years. Have you seen other older people asking you to buy? Pat, you still here? You still here, Pat? I don't know if I can tell who's watching. But, Pat, if you are still here, I can tell you absolutely. My newsletter has seen... I've never had this many subscribers signing up in such a short amount of time. You know, my numbers are still low. I don't have a ton of subscribers, but I can absolutely tell you the older generation is taking notice for sure. I had my aunt text me, my uncles. I've had multiple family members that I never thought would be involved in crypto. They're all asking me how to get involved. And not all of them, but, you know, a much higher interest level than even 2 months ago. I've been posting my newsletter on my Facebook for about 6 months, and it gets ignored. It's been ignored for so long. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. And I continue to post it anyway because I don't really care what anyone thinks about it. But as of recently, all of a sudden, people care, which is good for me. But you do got to kind of, you know, question, why are all these things happening? What's your comments on the space race for smart contract adoption between Polka, ETH, and Cardano, given the latency in ETH T-points? All right, Turtle, give me 1 second. So, absolutely, there's clearly more interest. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That interest... When that interest hits a fever pitch is when you really should be worried. That's when you really should start to say, hey, maybe it might honestly be time to sell. Yes, Gambler, it is me. When that stuff hits a fever pitch, when you've got, you know, everyone and your brother asking you about crypto, then it might be time to sell. I don't think we're there yet, but we could be. We could absolutely be at the peak. This thing could blow up tomorrow, and everyone could. We could be looking at another 3-year bear market. I don't believe that personally, but I didn't believe it in 2018 either. I didn't think that was the end of it, and I obviously was wrong. But to answer your question, yes, I've gotten a lot of interest. I can see it in my subscriber count for the newsletter. I've been ignored for a long time, and as of recently, people are paying attention, which is cool. Turtle here. All right, the space race for smart contract adoption between Polkadot, ETH, and Cardano. First off, if you believe the hype, Binance Smart Chain is winning the race, as we talked about I don't know, half an hour ago. Binance Smart Chain, the traffic is through the roof. Binance Coin is up 100%. I'm not buying it, and I talked about this a little while ago. I'll have to find Chainlink God again. Chainlink God. So Chainlink God basically points out that the Binance Smart Chain, a lot of the traffic is highly suspect. He had one contract that was... Something was wrong with the contract. Here you go. For anyone thinks the activity on Binance Smart Chain is actually real, check this out. One contract had 680,000 failed transactions spammed to it in 17 hours. So if you believe the hype, the Binance Smart Chain right now is winning the race because it's centralized and fees are low. I don't believe it anyway. I still think a lot of that traffic is faked and made up. So if you can eliminate Binance Smart Chain, then you know, the three that you mentioned, Ethereum, Polkadot, and Cardano, those are the ones that are kind of, they're in the lead, I would imagine. I still am waiting. I don't know. Cardano is like, it's intriguing for sure, but they only recently released their native assets, and Ethereum has had that for a few years. I don't understand why that took so long. Maybe they're doing things differently. They like to say that their programming language is verifiable, so that there's not like exploits out there waiting for someone to steal $50 million, which Ethereum doesn't utilize. They have a verifiable language called Viper, but for whatever reason, people haven't adopted it. Polkadot is one that I honestly don't know too much about, but I know that it's gaining a lot of hype. In my opinion, the best thing to do would probably just be to invest in all three of them, because there's really no reason that one of them should win out. I mean, I used to think Ethereum's going to be the top dog and nobody else is going to matter, but if you have a bridge between the two, and Chainlink can act as a bridge between chains, there's no reason that you can't have multiple smart contract chains that maintain a high level of traffic and have their own development. I don't think that Binance Smart Chain represents a long-term solution, but I think in the short term, they actually serve a purpose. There's 90% of the world has been priced out of using Ethereum. Ethereum fees right now are honestly hard to justify. It costs $50 to send a transaction. I mean, that's just totally outrageous, and nobody's going to use it unless you've got a ton of money, and that is just pennies to you. But 99% of the world, that's not the case. Polkadot, I don't know enough about Polkadot. I really should look into it. AVAX, which is right here, ranked 35, Avalanche, they were doing great, and then their whole network went down for 48 hours. I forget what it was. It was some type of, someone claimed it was a double spend. Somebody else said it was something small. I don't know. But it's why I stick to Ethereum, basically, is because I know it works. It might be expensive, but you can fix the expense problem. If you give it long enough time, I think the developers for Ethereum will come up with a solution, whether it's layer 2 using ZK rollups like Loopring or whatever else it is. I think that Ethereum, they will find a way to get around the fees and to minimize them. Polkadot and Cardano, I think they're probably worth having a position in, but to me, they're not as proven. I mean, Ethereum has had all of these dApps running on it for a long time and has never really had any type of catastrophic issue. What else we got? You got... yeah. Fuck yeah. Decided to throw them on to the last minute. What do we got here? Okay, percent supply of Chainlink and smart contracts continually going up, like we spoke about, 55% now. You like to see that. This one is highly intriguing about Chainlink. And I actually looked on here, and they don't have Cardano, unfortunately. I wanted to do some Cardano stuff, but Glassnode apparently does not support Cardano. What else did somebody ask about? Oh, Polkadot. Yeah, I doubt DOT is on here as well. Yeah, DOT is not. But they have most ERC20 tokens, or a lot of them. And this I find interesting. So Chainlink has been kind of lagging. It hasn't been performing as well as Cardano. It hasn't been performing as well as Polkadot, Binance Smart Chain, of all of these things. And yet, in spite of that, the top 1% of addresses of Chainlink are continuing to accumulate. You know, these are the whales. These are the guys that I assume know what they're talking about. I mean, you got to be pretty damn rich to be in the top 1% of Chainlink wallets. And they held 79% of the, I guess, circulating supply, and now it's up to 82. I mean, it's just continuing to go up. Now, people are going to, bitch and complain, oh my God, it's so centralized. 1% holds 80% of the circulating supply. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's obviously not ideal, but that's going to change in the long run as these guys, they're going to sell at some point. But either way, when whales are accumulating, that's something that you kind of want to like perk your ears to and say, hey, I think maybe I should pay attention to this. So even though Chainlink is lagging, I have a lot of faith that it's going to have its time. I don't know when that's going to come, but I do think that, Cardano is up 25% in the past week, and that's just the past week. If you look at the past 30 days, it's probably up 200 to 300%. 30 days ago, it was 35 cents. So it's up at least triple, probably more like quadruple. Polkadot is another one. I think Chainlink is going to have its day where it does this. Polkadot went from 18 to 40 right now. It was in the 50s before it the whole network collapsed. And obviously we talked about Binance Smart Chain. That's up like 1,000% or something. I think that that's coming with Chainlink, and you can see that the whales also clearly believe that there is reason to be buying it right now, even though these other coins are outperforming it and Chainlink is kind of lagging. This is I think is bullish, and if you can wait, if you can just tough it out a little while longer, I think that it's going to have good days. And like I said, Bancor is another one that I bought more Bancor today. I think Bancor is going to do well. At the very least, I don't think it's going to underperform. It's got a lot of social awareness. Mr. Mac, Phantom. When is Off-Chain out? I wish I could tell you when Off-Chain is out. Every single day, I hope to wake up to see that Chainlink has released off-chain reporting. It's working. We can see in the contracts that they are using off-chain reporting. I don't know if that's on mainnet, but it is working at least on testnet. We know it's there, and they haven't said anything about it. So I'm assuming that they're tying up some loose ends, and it's going to come if you can wait long enough. And off-chain reporting, if you don't know, Chainlink is going to use it's off-chain, it's called. I'm assuming it's layer 2, but it's probably, I don't know what it is. It's not Arbitrum. It's not threshold signatures. I guess it's something different entirely. Either way, though, they're going to lower the cost of using the Chainlink network, ideally by 90%. They have proven thus far, if you look at the OCR contracts, it's at least 70%. They're hoping to get 90%, but even 70% is astonishingly powerful. There's a couple things you can do with that. You can either decrease the cost that you're charging people by 90%, or you can increase the amount of usage they get. They can call the Oracle 90 times, not 90 times, but whatever it is, 9 times more than they are right now. They can call the Oracle and get a price updated that much quicker. There's a lot of things you can do. You can do a combination of the both. Either way, it's clearly bullish. And we know that staking is coming at some point. I don't know when. Hi from Australia. Australia, mate. What's up, Nikon? How you doing, man? I want to come to Australia one day. I really do. But off-chain reporting is coming, staking is coming, Arbitrum is coming. There's so much coming for Chainlink, and people keep adopting it. I mean, you can, in my opinion, you can take a risk. You can buy things like Bancor. You can buy things like Binance Smart Chain if you want. You can buy Polkadot. All of those things are great, and they're going to do well. But Chainlink, to me, is like, you know that it works, you know it's getting adopted, and you know all these developments are coming, and the team is ridiculously smart. They got professors from Cornell, they got all of these people. Ari Jules, I forget what it is, but the measurement that it's basically how many times a professor's research gets cited by other professors. And there's some type of weird measurement. And Ari Jules' measurement is through the roof, like ridiculously high. And that's a guy that's on the Chainlink team. Like, you can't just go and get that type of person. That person is an asset. And, to me, Chainlink is just a good buy. There's clearly risk. Everything's got its own risk. But off-chain, staking, everyone needs an Oracle. Without an Oracle, none of this works. Yes, Chainlink is suffering from congestion. It's not so much congestion. It is congestion, but yes, the fees are very high. And that's why everyone is kind of waiting with bated breath for off-chain reporting, because off-chain reporting is going to minimize the Chainlink costs for calling the feeds by 90%. Ideally 90%. It's been speculated on Twitter that they're only going to get 70 to 80%, or that's all they've gotten thus far. But that's still a huge, huge benefit if you can lower the cost by 70% of using the Chainlink network. And off-chain reporting, I mean, that's a major development. That's a lot of work. And just seeing that level of development is a good thing. It shows that these guys are legitimate and they're doing the work. Half of the projects out there you can buy, there's literally nobody working on it. They're just telling you a bunch of bullshit lies to make the price go up. And that's legitimately probably half of the projects. Not the good ones, not Cardano, Ethereum, Chainlink, but all the shit coins, there's a good chance there's literally nobody working on that project. They're just telling you a bunch of shit. So if a project of this caliber can come out with something like off-chain, and the same with Cardano, if they can come out with something like Shelly or Goguin, however you pronounce it, it's just a good sign that there are smart people working on this. And that's hard to come by. Migration to Cardano. I think Cardano has been reluctant to use Chainlink. I know he said he's going to spin up his own Chainlink nodes, but could Chainlink themselves move to the Cardano blockchain? Yeah, I guess that's a possibility. I don't see it happening, but you never know. G'day. Come down under. I'll buy you a couple beers that I owe you for being one of Link's loudest voices a couple of years ago when I jumped in. If you jumped in a couple years ago, you must have a pretty decent rate of return. And for that, you should be proud. And you can thank me all you want, but honestly, that was your own decision to make. And you should give yourself a pat on the back for taking that risk and holding this entire time, because it has not been an easy hold. Well, it has been an easy hold because it's continually gone up, but I thought it would be higher than this by now. To be totally honest, I thought we'd be in the triple digits. AVAX first, Phantom. Sorry, I'm coming back to you, Mr. Mac. Phantom is one that I can truly say I don't know anything about. All I know is that the community is strong and people seem to think that it is it's gonna do big things. I tweeted about Phantom the other day, and I got flooded with responses. So apparently, the Phantom community is very, very strong. Excuse me. The Budweisers are kicking back. Yeah. So basically, somebody replied to me about Phantom. And the very first tweet, instant transaction speed and low costs. There are many day traders in the space and in the world that cannot afford to wait minutes, if not seconds. Phantom's consensus algorithm covers that. So I replied, very first tweet, I already spot a red flag. How does this algorithm work? Are you claiming that Phantom found a way to do fast transactions very cheaply and in a decentralized manner? Because nobody else has been able to figure that out yet. That is the blockchain trilemma. Can you do transactions fast, cheap, and in a decentralized manner? Nobody's been able to figure it out. And these guys all claim that Phantom has, in fact, figured it out. Also, leaderless. Every node can join and leave at any time. Yes, Phantom has solved the trilemma. You can speak to Crypto, this guy, and the other Pomp. They're part of the Phantom team. Short answer, yes, they solved the trilemma. And this is the guy I originally responded to. It's an ABFT DAG, directed acyclic graph. We're using proof of stake and have 38 validators as of now, which keeps growing. On Ethereum Virtual Machine, we reached the Ethereum Virtual Machine's capacity, which is around 1,500 transactions per second. On Phantom's Virtual Machine, it will be much, much more. So that's honestly all I can tell you about Phantom. And I have not done anything to prove any of this. And this guy is clearly a Phantom fanatic, so he's only going to say the good things. But I will say I have a very hard time believing that Phantom solved the blockchain trilemma. I really do. It's an extremely hard thing to do. I mean, the smartest people in the world are trying to figure out how to do transactions fast, cheap, and decentralized. And they haven't come up with a quick answer. Did Phantom do it? Maybe. But I tend to believe that if somebody did figure it out concretely, that the entire cryptocurrency world would be, up in arms and very excited about it. And they would all be moving to that chain. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm wrong. I just am a little bit skeptical. Let's see where we're else. Subscribe and like. Thank you, Gambler. I appreciate you. I appreciate anyone who subscribes and likes. Who said I held it all? You sold. Good for you. You held most of it. That's okay. You got to take some profits, right? I've taken a little profits. I sold about 10% of my Chainlink stack when right before the coronavirus crash. I got panicked. I knew that this was going to be kind of serious. This was about last February, last March. I was keeping an eye on China and the things going on, and I really thought that the whole economy could collapse because of it. And it still could collapse, let's be honest. We're still printing money because of this whole thing. And I sold 10% of my Chainlink stack, and I don't really regret it, but it would obviously be nice to still have it. It is what it is, though. I was legitimately scared that the economy was going to collapse, and I wanted to make sure I had some cash on the side just to take care of my family if I lost my job or something. And it didn't happen. It's okay, though. Luckily, I didn't sell all of it. Honestly, I think that is probably it for the live stream. If anybody else has any questions, you can send it through. You need those tendies. I need some tendies too, brother. I'm ready to retire. I can't be working anymore. I'm tired of it. Cardano has done extremely well. I know you're a Cardano fan. Hopefully you've made a whole boatload of money on that. Cardano has absolutely outperformed Chainlink, which is my biggest holding, over the past 90 days. I don't know, actually. So 16 cents to $1. Yeah, it definitely outperformed. Over the past 90 days, it's gone up about 7x. Let's call it 7x. Over the past 90 days, Chainlink has gone up about 3x. So yeah, Cardano has clearly outperformed. I will say, though, let me go just double check this. The 90-day chart for Chainlink, I don't know, actually. This one doesn't look too bad. It's not like it's an absolute explosion up 20x in a matter of days. So that looks relatively sustainable. The Chainlink one, although it has been moving slower and has underperformed Cardano, does look slow and steady, which can kind of lull you to sleep. It does get a little bit boring, and the pullbacks are extremely tiresome. But the trend is clearly up, and it might be slowly curving upwards for more of a parabolic effect. I hope that's the case. It's hard for me to even believe that I'm sitting here talking about $34 Chainlink. I mean, that is truly astonishing. It really hasn't even dawned on me yet, to be totally honest. One Chainlink costs $34. For $1,000 doesn't even get you 30 Chainlink. I mean, that don't make any sense, when you're buying it at 15 cents or 30 cents, whatever it was that I was tweeting about it. Oh no. My mouse is dying. To see it at this price level, it doesn't even really check in. Either way, though, I'm going to head out of here. What's your thoughts on CZ from Binance claims saying their sign up? I think it's bullshit. I think it's total bullshit. I don't know. Here's the thing. Okay? Like I pointed out, Chainlink God clearly tweeted out that something is a little bit of a mess. Something's a little bit strange here. One contract on Binance Chain failed. And that one contract resulted in 680,000 other failed transactions that were spammed to that one contract in 17 hours. That's a lot of traffic for a chain that is just recently coming about. It's almost an unfathomable amount of traffic for one single contract on a new chain. Basically, what people suspect is that CZ or whoever is running the show is just wash trading. Basically, they're sending transactions back and forth to try to make it look like there's all of this volume. And the reason they can do that is because the nodes that are validating the network are all controlled by Binance and whoever they want to control it. So the fees are extraordinarily low. So they can wash trade, no problem. The fees are ridiculously low, so they just pump up the volume. Now, that being said, I do believe that the Binance chain is actually serving a very valuable purpose right now, even though it's centralized. 95% of the world has been priced out of the Ethereum blockchain. You simply cannot use DeFi if you're trying to invest even $1,000. $1,000 is a lot of money, and you probably can't use it on DeFi because the cost of just using the Ethereum network right now is so outrageous. So what these people are doing is porting their whole portfolio to the Binance Smart Chain. And since it's centralized, the fees are much lower. And then they can go and do DeFi and they can earn all of these yields. I don't believe it's a viable long-term solution because the whole point of cryptocurrency is to decentralize things. And Binance Smart Chain is not decentralized. But for the short term, while Ethereum is so ridiculously expensive, it's actually serving a purpose. And I don't blame people for using it. Now, the question that I would be asking if you're a Cardano holder is, how come Cardano didn't do this? How come Cardano didn't just literally clone all of Ethereum's apps, put them on the Cardano chain, and then start marketing itself as saying, hey, we got low fees and we got all this DeFi. Come over, bring all of your assets here, and you can farm with it. Polkadot should have done the same thing. I'll give credit where it's due. CZ, the owner of Binance, is a smart motherfucker. And basically, he just cloned everything off Ethereum, centralized it all, and said, hey, I got low fees. I know that you don't have the money to participate in Ethereum DeFi, so come do it on my chain. And he totally outmaneuvered Cardano, Polkadot, and Avalanche, and Cosmos, and Solana, and probably Phantom, I guess. I don't know. Phantom might not be its own blockchain. I'm not exactly sure. So it is what it is. It's centralized, but it's serving a purpose, and I give him credit for that. I'm a bit doubtful those numbers can be true. I agree with you entirely. I do not believe those numbers are true. Remember buying Link with my lunch money and getting 50 at a time. I remember that too, Corey. I Absolutely remember that. And it's looking like those days are behind us. And with hindsight, I wish I would have bought more, obviously, but I'm not complaining about my stack. And what are you going to do? I mean, we're up over 100x from when I was, advocating loudly on Twitter and to my family and friends to buy Chainlink. So 100x, even if you only put a couple $100 into it, whatever it is, that's still a hell of a return. And you should be proud of that, and you should give yourself a pat on the back. That being said, if there's no other questions, if nobody else has any comments, I'm going to head out of here. I had a great time doing this, though. And honestly, I'll probably do it again. I love you all. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate every subscriber to the newsletter, the free people, the premium people, whatever you've got. I hope that I provide some value to you. And if you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to drop them on a comment or an email. Good night, goodbye, and I love you all.